See that a little better? Oh, okay. So we're gonna look at buyers right now for this exercise. We're gonna look at buyers. I'm gonna open up Cultivate. And what we're doing, as you have your command open, you've got Cultivate, Appointment, Active, Under Contract, right? So within Cultivate, one of the things that we can do, and let me get this out of that way here, is that it says, it says 9 to 12 months, 6 to 9, 3 to 6, 1 to 3. I created those. What does yours say? What does your show? Watch, nurture, and hot, right? So this is just a preference. Those didn't work for me. So I can go into edit the stages. So yours right here is say watch, nurture, and hot, right? If you'd like to change it, you can do it right now. So go up to the little pencil right here. So that first one is going to say watch, says watch, correct? All right, so I'm going to hit this pencil right here. And where it used to say watch, I've now changed it to 9 to 12 months. Go ahead and click that right there. 9 to 12 months. Hey, that's fine. You can mess with that later on. Okay, so here, so 9 to 12 months. And then I'll hit save, right? Your next one says nurture. What does it say? Okay, so if I wanted to change that, again, this is something that you can customize to something that works best for you. Just that those titles, it was more meaningful for us to put it in time frames. So where it says nurture, just hit that pencil. And I can change it, instead of it saying nurture, I can change it to 6 to 9 months. Are you with me? Okay. Once you have that, we're going to go ahead and hit save. Okay. What's the third one that's the template? Hot. Okay. Again, so this is just in our buyer stage, right? So instead of it reading hot, I'm going to hit that pencil. Instead of it reading hot, I'm going to type in 3 to 6 months, right? And we were talking about percentages. So the percentages, I'm going to hit save. And those are the only 3 that you have in the template, right? So do yours now read 9 to 12, 6 to 9, and 3 to 6? Okay, so now what we're going to do on yours is going to, on the right button, we're going to hit add stage. We're going to add a stage, and now we're going to be able to number it, or name it whatever we want. And like I said, what works best for me, it's just a preference, 1 to 3 months out. Right, and it's going to say position 5, right? So if I put gibberish, then it'll say something different. But I'm going to close that. So there's my 4th one. Okay. So we got, yours should look just like this: 9 to 12 months, 6 to 9, 3 to 6, and 1 to 3. Is that right? Are you good? You got all 4 in there? Awesome. Okay, so here's the cool thing about it. So that's that part of the stage, right? And again, I'm going to go back, hit your back to buyers. That's just within the cultivate stage, right? The 9 to 12 months. So if I hit edit stages, what I did here just for teaching purposes, you see the checklist here? Yours probably shows 0 of 0, correct? Go ahead and click that first one that'll say 0 of 0. And what I gave myself something to do as a checklist, go ahead and add this item: set up a smart plan. Okay, and then hit save. Okay. We're gonna do the same with all 4 of these. We're gonna just go in there. We're gonna add one step, call it set up a smart plan, and hit save. And I'll tell you the reason behind it in just a moment. Once you have all 4 of them in there, This particular one right here is 1 to 3 months out, right? This is still in the cultivate stage, so that they haven't become a client yet. You're just still, maybe you met them at the store or something, you gave them your business card, so you're just cultivating that relationship. So you can customize how you want to work your first 1 to 3 months in that cultivate stage, right? You can add another item. What could be an item we can add? Let's just say send out a hello card, right? Just making one up. Then we're going to send out a hello card within the first, in the 1 to 3 months in nurturing stage, cultivate stage. I'm going to hit save. So now I've got 2 steps. I'm going to hit save. I've got 2 steps in my checklist for my cultivate clients that are in the 1 to 3 months stage, right? Now we're going to go back to buyers. That's just in this group right here. And we have the appointment stage. So I'm going to create a borrower so you can kind of see how this flows. We're going to create an opportunity, because these are all opportunities. These are people that you're going to follow up on a daily basis. So in the cultivate stage, I'm going to go to the top right. I'm going to create an opportunity. And in this case, I'm going to find my client. My client is going to be my assistant, Tamara. So she's my client. She's a buyer opportunity. Budget, I'm going to say she's budgeted for $550. Okay. Commission rate, we're going to say 2.5. And notice she's in the cultivate, and she's in my 9 to 12 months, right? So from there, I'm going to hit create. So here's her information right here. This is creating the opportunity. I'm seeing that her stage, she's a phase cultivate, stage 9 to 12 months. Who's my contact? This is really important right here, is that we put information in there as far as what's their sales price. Maybe you don't know, but at least put in a number, right? And here's the reason behind it. When you give it a budget, commission rate, then you have a dollar amount. You've got a value associated with that lead, right? This motivates me. I don't know if it motivates you, but I'd rather, instead of seeing 0, just seeing a lead there, I'd rather see a dollar amount associated with that lead. And it could be anything. If it's a 450 buyer, fine, make it that, but never leave it 0. Okay, now we're going to go back to the pipeline. We're going to go into cultivate. And there she is. First thing is, she's in my 9 to 12. So if I look at my checklist, it says here I should set up a smart plan for her. And let's just say I did it this morning. I'm going to put a check mark there and look at what happens here. One of my activities was done, right? And I can close that. So as I'm working with this lead, she's 9 to 12 months out. She's a ways out, but now she's rolling over because we're working our leads on a regular basis. I'm going to drag her over to, now she's 6 to 9 months out. I have a new checklist. Now it's 0 to 1, right? I have 0 of 1 of my items taken care of. Again, in cultivate, you can get really creative as far as what you want to do. Then I'm going to move it over. Now I'm 3 to 6 months from that with that borrower, with that lead. Here's a really cool thing. I love the fact that we can drag and drop, right? It's so user-friendly to drag and drop. This opportunities is awesome. This is our workflow every day. So we drag Tamara. Now she's 1 to 3 months out, okay? But check this out. Now there's 2 steps in the 1 to 3 months out. So I'm going to look. I haven't completed those 2 steps. I don't want to set up a smart plan. This could be something updated, right? But here in the 1 to 3 months, I want to do something a little different. I want to send out a hello card, right? Well, what if you're working this lead? Again, you can get really creative with working this lead, and you create your template, and we're rolling into what's 2 months away? What's just around the corner? Thanksgiving and Christmas. 2 holidays, right? We're in October, maybe, because she's 1 to 3 months out, and the Thanksgiving card, right? I just added an item for her, right? I can do that. close it. Now we have some canned templates that I'm going to show you in just a moment. But now we've done that, we've done the Thanksgiving and everything else. And now the great thing about it is that with Tamara, now she said she wants to meet with us, right? So we're going to grab her and watch this. I'm going to, oops, my finger's working. I'm going to drag her to now appointment. Now check this out. So you see how it goes from cultivate to appointment to active to under contract to close, right? These are your top 5 right here. But now Tamara's become, we finished that out. We're ready to schedule an appointment. So right here under scheduling, I created another checklist, and this one's super simple. Call, text, or email. Call, text, and email. And we're trying to reach out to them to schedule an appointment with them, to make contact with them, right? So we made contact. I'm gonna put a check mark. I'm gonna close it. Now look what happens. This is our scheduling stage. Now I've scheduled it. I can now grab her and move over to schedule. Look what's happening to my percentages. 10% chance of becoming something, 20% chance of becoming something, 30% chance, right? Because now we've met with we've called them. Now we've scheduled an appointment. We're going here. And I created this as a checklist for myself. I'm going to call to confirm our appointment, right? That's just something that I made. So I can add an item, and you can write in call to confirm appointment. If I hit save, it's just going to show it's a duplicate. I'll just cancel that. So now I've called to confirm the appointment, right? Close it. We're good to go. Tomorrow is the appointment. Oh, let me back up. Sorry, 1 second. Let me just back up. I want to show you one thing here. Apologize. Let's see. There we go. See right here, call to confirm appointment. We have this nice little calendar now. They said they're going to meet with us on Thursday. At what time? Look at this. We can say 9 a.m. So October 8th at 9 a.m., we've got the appointment set, right? So I'm going to close this here. 9 a.m. rolls around. That's tomorrow. It's now tomorrow. Now here's what I did here. This is just another checklist. We edited it here as I came in here. And for this one, I've met with them. I've had coffee at 6 feet away, right? And I got to know more about the client. So with that meeting that I've had with them, what I put down for an item on my checklist is update my client profile. Now I know what they're looking for. They're looking for a 3-bedroom, a 2-bath, the area they're looking for, what's important to them as far as the schools, close to the freeway, all those things. It's on my checklist to say, I'm gonna go back into that profile and update it, right? So now I've updated my client and closing it, right? So these are real brief little checklists, but then I'm gonna show you, once we get Tamara, we've set the appointment, we know more about it, and I watch what happens. This takes on a whole new look. We're now moved her to active. Let's scroll down. Look what happened. Now she's an active client of ours. She's an active lead. So what I've done is there's 4 items just within the active profile. Check this out. You can create these any way you want, but now that they're active, I want to connect them with the loan officer, right? So add an item connected with loan officer. And if I connected her with the loan officer, I'm going to say, when are they scheduled to meet? And I look up here. They're scheduled to meet the loan officer on Saturday. At what time? At 10 a.m. That's awesome. There's no writing down on a piece of paper, because your workflow, opportunities is your workflow. So when you sit down from your laptop or from your desktop, you know exactly what's going on. So within this first step, I've got 4 items on my checklist. And the first one being that I connect them with the loan officer, and they're scheduled to meet the loan officer this Saturday at 10 a.m. Let's pretend that Saturday came and went. Guess what? We get to put a check mark there. So when I close this out, Tamara is in my pre-approval stage of active. I don't have to guess how many things do I have to do for Tamara to move her to the next stage, right? I can see I've done 1 of 4. All right, so it's Monday morning. We sit down at our laptop and go, okay, what do I got to do? Okay, Tamara, I've got 1 of 4 items. What are the other 3 items I need to take care of for her? So right now, she connected with the loan officer. I've touched base with the loan officer. They said, okay, Alvin, we're working on some steps. Look what it says here, working on steps for approval. That's what I know is going on between the loan officer and our buyer, right? So here, we're going to pretend that the loan officer said that we should have their paperwork. We said they're going to meet on the 10th. We should have their paperwork by the 14th, okay? And I'm just going to say by 10 a.m. again. So you just type in there, 10 a.m. So just by looking at this, because we always write things on little pieces of paper. Okay, I spoke to John Doe, my loan officer. They're meeting with Susie on Wednesday, and you're scribbling things. While you can scribble, this is just a lot more efficient. You can sit here and go, okay, they're meeting with the loan officer and the paperwork should be in by Wednesday. So as you're looking at it, it's such an easy call to say, hey, hi, Susie, how you doing? I know you met with our loan officer yesterday. How did that go? It's another touch point. You're keeping in front of your client, and they know you're on your game, right? They know you said you're doing what you said you're going to do, and that is to hold their hand all the way through, right? And this is a process, right? So that's great. You met with them. How did it go? They're going to give you information. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. The next thing that I'm going to receive is, it's called a DU approval. This is the conversation you're having with your contact, right? We're not robots. You want to walk them through the process. So the next thing that our loan officer is going to give us is your desktop approval. And that's what we're really looking for. Because once we have that, we're going to be able to shop with confidence and looking for properties for you. Does that make sense? Like, yeah, that makes sense. Awesome. So a couple, 3 days go by. We've now received our desktop approval. When did I receive it? Well, they met on the 14th. Let's just say they got it done for us by the 16th, 8 a.m. I've got now the desktop approval for my client. We're ready to roll. Yeah. Okay, good question. Let me see. Let me just go over here. So, edit my stages. Pre-approval, if I hit the pencil. No, I'm sorry. If I hit my items. So, if I go here and edit, it's the second one you want to look at? Third one? Okay. The 3 little dots is your edit. Yeah, because command will only let you, somebody holds so much. It says this, received the desktop approval and uploaded it. Good question. Okay, and since you've asked that, this one printed fully. It had enough room. But this second one, I'm gonna hit edit, working on steps for approval, okay? So we create these however we want, but this is just a workflow that makes sense for us, is that once they become a person that I've met now, I know what they're looking for and stuff, I want to connect them with my loan officer, right? I want to set up the process for them getting approved. Once I receive it, I want to make mention that I received it. Here's the other one. For us, POF, does everyone know what POF is? Proof of funds, right? It's great that their loan's been approved, but are they buying the home based on their own funds? Are they getting money from their 401k? Or are they doing the DPA, down payment assistance program, right? If it's their own funds, do I have a copy of that? That's important, because what happens is when we go to make the offer, we're going to submit a copy of the approval, the desktop underwriting approval, And we're also going to submit a copy of their bank statement or their 401k. Make a note to yourself, always, 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 and if you ever forget, always, mark out their account number. All right, you just wanted to say Susie Q, 401k, so that identifies the buyer and there's the association, but make sure you white out their account number, okay? But that's important to receive the proof of funds and upload it into the system, into your system. So that's a checklist that we can now go through. It's now your template. Very good question. So that's the beauty of it, is that you sit down, and Sean asked me last week, how long did it take you to do this? And I just rounded off and I said 90 minutes. And this is what we did. We just came through and let me go back one. We came through and we said, we're going to edit stages, right? And we just started from ground zero and said, edit stages. We renamed them what worked for us as far as the stage name. And then we started our checklist. Okay, what's involved in the first step? What's involved in the second step? Okay. So we go back. Now, where is our borrower, Tamara? Look what happens. This just gets really cool. So right now, how many steps do I have left for Tamara before I can move her to showing? Can you tell me? How many steps I have left for Tamara? Yeah. Can you see? I've done 3. Correct. So I've got one more step, right? Here's the beauty. This is what I like about Command, is that there's no guesswork. Once you set it up, I know I still have one more thing to take care of for Tamara before I can move her over here. So what the heck is it that I need to take care of? I'm just going to go right here. Oh, shoot, I haven't received the proof of funds. She promised me yesterday she'd email me a copy of her bank statement. Well, guess what? It's a phone call. Hey, Tamara, it's Alvin again. You're going to send me that bank statement. I just want to follow up. Could you send it to me this morning? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I got busy at work. Whatever it is, I'll send it to you right now. She emails it to me. Boom, I just got it, right? Now I've got her proof of funds. I've got her desktop approval. We're solid. Now we're going to close that. Now check this out. 4 of 4. 4 of my tasks have been completed, right? So now, if you look at the screen, I'm going to grab Tamara now. We've got everything we need, and now we're going to drag her over to showing. Now in showing, interesting that over here we had 4 steps. In showing, we have 2. So let me find out what my steps are right here. First one is search criteria established. What is it you're looking for, right? 3-bedroom, 2-bath. So you can add that item. Okay. Hit save. And then the next step, again, this is what works for us. The next step is, and then it got cut off. I'll show you what it says. MLS auto email search created. Everything's about efficiencies. You create automation. Automation is your best friend, right? You're going to set up my clients looking for 3 bedrooms, 2-bath, this community, no more than 450. You're going to create that auto email search criteria. Once you've done that, you can put a check mark. And now, this is where Tamara is at right now. She's in the showing stage. This is what we're looking. We're finding properties. We're going on appointments. We found a property. Now we've made now an offer. Here's the cool thing. So in negotiations, if I do and grab Tamara, we made an offer. Now there's 3 steps there. The 3 steps I have is offer was sent, the counter was received, and an offer/counter was accepted. Okay, and it's all in add an item. So we hit add item, offer sent. It's going to say I'm gonna hit step gibberish there, just so it'll save it. So you can see that it added it to the bottom there. Okay. I'm gonna delete that one. So in this stage, I've got offer sent, counter received, offer and counter accepted, right? So all of these stages, once you hit, no problem. So when you go here, offer / counter has been accepted. So you got offer sent, counter was received, offer and counter was accepted. This just makes sense for the workflow that we do, right? But with anything, edit the stages. This is what Sean and I were talking about. That took me about 90 minutes at the most. I edited the name of the stage and the checklist associated with the stage, right? And when I go back, if I go under contract, notice that under contract, this one is a pretty long list. Okay, take care. There's 11 items there, right? So under inspections, I'm just gonna hit edit stages. And in here, I've got 4 steps, 11 steps, etc. So under inspections, just to give you an idea how it works, these are the items that I've placed for once we have an offer accepted, we're in escrow. What's becoming very popular, solar panels. Is there a solar panel, right? When you're working with a buyer, does the house have solar panels? If it does, we want to get that paperwork as soon as possible because there's a approval process. Your buyer has to approve to take. Correct. And sometimes sellers, you know, it's in a shoebox in a closet, and it takes them a while to find that paperwork, right? Because they bought the solar panels three years ago, right? So you want to get going on that. Home inspection. You hit edit so you can see what it says. Home inspection and termite options. Email sent. So for us, we never tell a client who to use. We give them a few names of who they can use, and they can choose anybody else. These are just suggestions, right? We send that out. So there's 11 steps for us. And again, you can just create anything you want that works for you. But the best way to do this is simply starting at square one with Cultivate. What's a good step for us in Cultivate? Then you work through appointments, work through active, work through under contract. And each stage is going to have its own unique number of steps associated with it. Like in escrow. So if I go to escrow and I edit the stages, what are the 4 items in escrow that are important? Were the wiring instructions received? When your buyer, now you got an accepted offer, did escrow send out the wire instructions? What's the next step? Was the earnest money deposit received by escrow? Yes or no? So if it hasn't, you get to follow up. Was the escrow instructions received? So 4 essential steps for us. Let me just hit save. All right. With that said, then we'll shut this off in just 1 second.